Hello there. My name is Tommy, and I'd like to share with you the things that I love. Let's talk Dragon Ball. When it comes to Dragon Ball, and I'm talking, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, I didn't really get into Dragon Ball GT too much, so I probably won't say too much about that. As well as Dragon Ball Super, I'm still currently in the process of watching it. I'm watching it dubbed though, and go ahead, throw hey, I don't care. I don't like listening to Girl Goku. It just, just kind of bugs me. But in terms of Dragon Ball, my experience with it, it actually the very first experience, I was going through channels with my sister, and it was on some channel that wasn't Cartoon Network, and it just looked so stupid. It was Krillin and Gohan hiding from Frieza's men on Namek, and and it was just looked so dumb, and we were cracking jokes about it. We were doing all sorts of stuff, and that was pretty much the end of that. And then one day, coming home from school, my brother was like, "Yeah, I started watching this show. This guy's running on this giant snake road, and he's like, yeah, I don't know why." And we kind of got hooked after that. And I don't know if it was cool because my brother said, "Oh, hey, this show looks pretty cool," and then we got into it. Um, but it got to the point where we recorded all the episodes on VHS tapes. Now, as in recording this, you can easily get them, on the internet. You can find them probably on YouTube or any other streaming site. Um, but back when it was on Toonami on Cartoon Network, yeah, I recall coming home every day, and because we had satellite, like it was on like Eastern time. Now you gotta remember here that I'm from the Oregon coast, and so Eastern time meant 3 hours ahead, and so we would have to beat feet home from school and try to get there as fast as we could. And we still have probably like 30 tapes worth of Dragon Ball stuff. Um, but growing up with it, remember we would play Dragon Ball on the trampoline. It would be my friends and I, and we'd just be hitting each other, and us pretending to throw energy balls at each other. And it was just us fighting on a trampoline. That was always super fun. Um, I do recall also that there was uh, mind you, this is grade school for me, and so we looked up Dragon Ball stuff on the internet. Now the internet was still like a pretty new thing. We're still using dial up, and so I remember that we looked up a couple of things of Dragon Ball, and like at this point, we didn't know that Goku became like a Super Saiyan, and so we kept seeing all these pictures with like blonde-haired Goku, and the only answer that we had was, well, maybe Goku looks different in Japan, and so we didn't know anything. And we saw that Bulma and Vegeta, they got together, and we're going, really? Like we had no idea any of this stuff happened. Um, and so there was a lot of stuff that we kind of knew about, but we didn't actually like know how it was going to happen. And one of the other things too is back when first came out on Toonami, it would go from that Raditz episode all the way to Goku showing up, beating up a couple of members of the Ginyu Force, and then the announcer says, "Is Goku really a Super Saiyan?" And like then it would start back over again, and we had no idea if he was a Super Saiyan or if he wasn't. And I remember that Toonami said, "Oh yeah, and by the way, we're coming out with brand new episodes of Dragon Ball Z," and it was huge. Now we kind of had to get a little used to listening to new voice actors, but now everyone is totally used to them. But it was majorly huge. We had this one friend who had a couple of Dragon Ball tapes. He had it was from the beginning to when Emperor Pilaf makes his first wish and Oolong wishes for a pair of underwear. I mean, I'm not gonna try to avoid spoilers, but and so we had like there were like six VHS tapes with those on there, and we had all of those. We also had Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle, and for those who don't know, the TV versions of the show are very like they cut stuff out of them. For instance, when Goku turns into a giant monkey, you see his wiener when he comes when he goes back into his normal Goku self. Well, on TV, they'll put a like a convenient like leaf in front of it. They'll put a convenient something. Well, Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle didn't have any of that. And then I remember like they had like a big zoom in on Bulma's breast. And as a kid watching this stuff, it's like, well, I didn't know that, like that's how this stuff was. Heck, even our six VHS tapes with the kind of those first couple of Dragon Ball episodes, um, even those I don't think were edited. But anyways, I mean, Dragon Ball has been a huge part of my family's life. I mean, even my parents who, I mean, like, they don't watch it, but they know that we watched it, and so I remember there'd be times where my dad, and when it comes to my dad, like he's like a big like hunter guy. I mean, like he's big into hunting, big into the outdoors. And I recall he came in one day and he said something like, "Well, how's Goku gonna get out of this one?" It's like, okay, yeah, we certainly watched this show quite a bit, but definitely Dragon Ball just in general has always been part of my life as well as my friends' life, as my family's life. It's just really just a really fun show. I mean, it is kind of predictable of what happens at times, but you know what? If the formula isn't broke, you don't have to fix it. And so, Dragon Ball is definitely one of the things that I really love.